Welcome to another Soul Sunday. As always, an important reminder, whatever we say, check with your inner knowing what feels true for you. You can have your camera on and you will not appear on the recording unless you unmute, turn on your microphone. Then you will appear on YouTube later. You can always ask your questions or comment in the chat in the Zoom room or on Facebook. So people are dropping in. Wonderful to see you all. I love it. Amazing. It's lovely to share this space with you all. And today it's the International Women's Day. So let's celebrate the divine feminine wisdom that knows, that trusts, that listens deeper than most. Actually, that's my experience. And you will hear more about that later when my darling wife and co-host Yvonne has something to share. And for reference, the spokesperson and one of my closest mentors on the Hill is actually a woman, just so you know. Not that gender is the most important thing, but we do have certain qualities that complement each other. And before we head into today's topic, I want to ask you something. When was the last time you heard your soul's whisper and chose to ignore it? Maybe it was a quiet knowing, maybe it was an impulse that didn't make sense, and maybe it was something that scared you so much that you talked yourself out of it. Can you tell the difference between your soul's whisper and your ego's scream? Hold on to the questions. We'll come back to it later. So, the last week we explored soul-guided leadership, what it actually looks like to live soul-led from the inside. And I shared how leading from my soul has completely changed my life, not just spiritually, but also practically. And I got tested. That is a part of it. My nervous system is regulated in a way that I never was before. My telepathy skills improved dramatically, and I don't need my 9-10 kilo heavyweight blanket anymore. I used to rely it every night to feel safe in my body. And all of this changed because of soul alignment, when my soul was embodied in a much deeper way. And the Hill's message last week was that most of what we communicate is without words. Your words only make up a few percent of what you are actually saying. So the real communication is through your energy, your frequency, your state of being, and whether your words are aligned with your true intention. You're always emitting something, and we love when you're centered in your soul and heart and let your words come intentionally from there. I know that they love you, and we love you even if you're not imbalanced, superbly aligned. My God, we are humans. This is an exploration. It's totally fine to lose your balance. Otherwise, how could you find it again? And you can watch the full episode on my YouTube channel. There's going to be a link sooner or later. So, if soul-guided leadership is real, if your soul already knows the way, the next question is, what happens when your soul's calling doesn't match what you think your life should look like? And what happens when your soul whispers one thing and your ego is screaming something else? And how do you know the difference? And why does the timing sometimes feel so wrong? Today we're exploring soul's calling versus ego's expectations, and I'm going to share a story from my own life about what happened when I dared to trust the whisper. So, this was in early fall in 1995. I was working as a computer teacher, and one of my biggest interests was driving motorcycle, and it had been for many years. However, I woke up one morning with a clear knowing it is time to sell the motorcycle. I didn't know why, and it's time to change my job. Well, that one was not so hard to figure out. I was feeling a bit boxed in teaching Excel and Word, even if those are great, great programs. But anyway, when I get signals like that, there's nothing to hesitate about. So I sold it quickly, my bike, through a newspaper ad. Those were the days with paper, newspaper. I did have a computer, of course, as I was teaching office programs, but the internet was a bit slow, but it existed and it was starting to break through. And I had this old modem, you know. If you've been around, you know what I mean. So I sat surfing through a text-based uh, ad listing from a bigger newspaper and dreaming myself away. And a thought kept circling inside of me. I was living in southern Sweden, in Malmö at the time. Maybe it's time to move and do something else. And how about Stockholm? And then suddenly I saw this advertisement in the newspaper. And I thought it was an American guy living in Stockholm who needed an assistant. And when I saw it, I just knew there was absolutely no doubt that job is mine. So I called the contact person and we had a nice conversation about the whole thing and what he needed help with. And after some time into the call, she asked a bit cautiously, but you do understand that this is in the USA, in America. No, I didn't. I had no clue. Do you still want a job? And I had some seconds to think about it, and it just came out of me. Yeah, of course. So 3 weeks later, after a roller coaster, I found myself in a country I least of all could ever imagine at the time going to, and it would become my home for the next several years, on and off. It was a 5-minute phone call that basically changed everything with no thinking time. Too much thinking can complicate things. But of course, you get a bit of an emotional backlash from such fast decisions. It's part of the deal and very human and very educational once you learn to handle the fears that show up, because they mostly do. So when I hung up the phone, I just stood there staring into space and wondered, how did that just happen? And well, it's been a lot like that in my life. And this one was a bit special. When I know something, I just know. And it takes a lot to not explore it. Sometimes I haven't. And sometimes it was quite expensive not to listen to it, even if it looked chaotic. Anyway, it took a while before it all landed, but I also realized I didn't have much time. So this was just before Christmas, and I had to write a formal letter to the family living in Westport, Connecticut. Uh, and it turned out that this guy was in my age and had around 25-ish and had been in a car accident that caused severe brain damage. Excuse me. But he could speak and function quite well, but he needed a lot of help uh, in to function in this world. So I sent a letter and a white and black passport photo. And a few days, his mother called, very enthusiastic. There was no doubt from her side or his that I was the one who should have the job, so it felt completely aligned. So I had to get down to business, get a visa. They sent money for the air ticket. I was nervous. I was a wreck. I was trembling, and I was very, very sure. So I went over to Copenhagen, to the embassy. I got my visa, and I was close to back out so many times because it was very scary. I've never been that far away, alone in my life. So anyway, I thought I was moving to Stockholm and I was about to back out, but it was not an option and I really didn't want to. And that Christmas, I actually checked into a monastery in southern Sweden just to land in myself and my decision. I just couldn't see myself celebrating Christmas with a lot of alcohol and whatever was served. And one of the people that I met in the monastery, he had a close connection with America and he even had a son there. So he had a lot of great tips for my upcoming journey. So the first week of January, I flew to Iceland, had a layover there and a wonderful bath in a hot spring. And I getting a bit emotional because that was like, okay, now I can relax. It was kind of a confirmation that I was in the right place. I don't know why, but being in that water out in the wild, almost like a desert. If you've been to Iceland, you know what I mean. And it's winter time. It was magic. And the flight, I had sunset for about 6 hours straight, looking at the sun going down the horizon all the time, almost not moving. I was kind of flying with time. Very amazing experience. And the first glimpse of the big city of New York was reverent. It felt like I was in a movie. And it was like walking around in a movie when I landed. I was greeted by people, very friendly people, who sounded exactly like in the movies. And his dad picked me up, a very nice and modest doctor, and drove me to Westport, an hour north of New York. And here's the funny thing. It felt so familiar to land on 33 Ludlow Road in a suburb, an old stone house by the sea with a lots of greenery and nice houses. And I'm getting emotional because I must have been there in a previous life. Honestly, I know it. I had the same feeling when I landed in New York and saw the Statue of the Liberty. So I felt quickly at home, even if everything was new. And it was like being reborn and starting a completely new life, 25 years old. And it was in many, many ways. So that decision changed everything. And not because it made logical sense and or it wasn't a safe choice or what I thought I should do, like get a real job. cut your hair. Well, no, I had cut hair. But it was because when I saw the ad, I just knew. And the difference between the soul's calling and the ego's expectations, they were so apparent to me. The ego wanted to go to Stockholm. It made sense. It would have felt safe. I had relatives there. But my soul said Connecticut, and I didn't even know why yet, back in Sweden. So how do you know the difference? How do you trust the whisper when the ego is screaming? So I take a break and I would like to hand over the microphone to my darling Yvonne, as she has some valuable insights and her own experience about the soul, the ego, and the nervous system to share with you. So I will unmute myself. Welcome, Yvonne.
Hey everyone, thank you, my love. I hope everyone hears me. Okay. I'm so curious about our topic. And when Elof and I were sitting and having this colorful conversation about it, lots of feelings, thoughts, and insights came to me too. And I can see this important part of it in everyone's life. So I wrote some words about it. Want to share with you. And Elof and I, we have been exploring the language of the soul for so long time now. I can't even count actually. And it has been a long journey for both of us. And it is absolutely so individual how your own language shows up, how your expression takes form in this life. And wow, what an amazing possibility for us humans this journey can be. And for myself, through all the up and downs I've had, I find myself more and more integrating into it. And here I have some things I have discovered over time. There is this special relaxation when you listen to your soul and follow it. It shows a special kind of inner knowing where you feel safe and whole in yourself and with everything around you. And for me, it is a really rare state of a powerful connection. Difficult to explain, actually, and absolute something to explore for everyone on their own. But here, everything that you believed is important begins to lose its power over you. And everything your ego is longing for so badly begins to dissolve. And there are no needs at all, just the present in which all is already there. And you are already there in this connection with yourself and your highest state of being. Just calmness and a deep, deep relaxation, a deep trust, actually. But here's a tricky one as well, because where we can misunderstand the connection to our soul or the regulation of our nervous system, because our nervous system can also reflect a relaxation when we do something that mirrors the vibration of our subconscious mind. For example, when you are programmed with something you experienced in your childhood, and this can be very harmful and dysfunctional, your system will do whatever it can to reflect this inner state. It will give you the feeling that this is normal and important for your survival. So every time you meet this reflection in your outer world, you feel calm because you confirm your belief of how things should be. This is what you have learned, maybe from your parents or other people you trusted. An example, when I met Elof 9 years ago, I wasn't used to someone who was so genuinely kind, loving, and warm with me. But with Elof, there was this new way of experiencing love. And it was so frightening to my nervous system and difficult to accept in the beginning. I was always waiting for something to change, for him to get angry or upset with me, actually. I wanted to leave many times. And my soul's voice, on the other hand, was talking to me with this calm inner knowing and assured me to stay, to learn, and to accept and to relax in it. And today, I listen, I trust, and I live in this wonderful, loving relationship. But now I won't come back to the ego. It has the task too to protect us as you too. It is the guardian of survival. It keeps you safe, orients you in the world, distinctions you from others. And it says, I exist, I have value, I need to protect myself. But the ego is also what forgets that you are more than your story, your wounds, or your fear. So for me, the ego is not the enemy. It is actually like a child who never learned that it is safe to relax. And it's not about crushing the ego, but about inviting it to rest, letting the soul take the lead, while the ego gets to be a passenger instead of a driver. So when the ego feels seen and safe, the heart opens naturally. And an unconscious ego, unhealed wounds, and a nervous system that reflects the programming from your subconscious mind will not reflect true relaxation. This is not your soul speaking its truth. When your soul speaking its truth to you and through you, I can assure you, you will feel a difference. There is always an inner knowing about what is good or bad for you, a deep inner knowing of what you actually want in life. And I'm 100% sure that every one of you has this knowing. And here you need to show courage to really listen to it. And you can learn to distinguish between these subtle voices. The ego and more will try to convince you otherwise. And yes, it is absolutely really a complex journey and so worthy for me, and I hope for many of us, because there is another importance in it. The times you don't listen to your soul, I want to name here also the collaboration with your heart. You will build up an inner frustration for not living your truth, for not expressing your soul's calling, for not fulfilling your deepest longing in this world. And I see many people pressing down their light and voice. And this shows itself in anger, in hate, passive aggression, and so much more. And I'm sure a lot of you know how it feels when you don't allow yourself to be what you really, really want or to do it. And when you do and allow yourself to express what brings you joy in life, the happiness that comes with it, the excitement. And here you don't need to do the biggest thing first. I think you can express your soul's longing every day with little and subtle, also simple gestures like singing, dancing, writing, playfulness, being creative, or whatever else is coming up for you. What can you do today when you listen to this quiet inner voice? So wonderful. I love to share this space with all of you. And thank you for listening. And I'm so happy to be here. And now I go back and I look forward to listen to what our friends from the Swedish Hill have to say about it too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my darling. Wonderful. And what's valuable insights, the connection and friction we all have to understand the different signals from the soul, the ego, subconscious mind, and the nervous system. So I know that this can be worth to listen to again on the recording later. Wonderful. So yeah, we have a transmission from the hill. We had a conversation with them this morning, so this is very, very fresh. And I love the approach. So hang on, I'm gonna read it for you. Aren't we all experiencing how we deep down know something, but the loudness, the noise of society, of conditioning, how we should behave, misuse of power have been holding us back? The bravest listen deeper. The bravest trust the whisper of their hearts and take the risk to fail in order to learn. Your soul's calling is your true path, and to set aside your ego's wants and needs is a courageous thing to do. It's not about ignoring it, but how to know the difference. You feel it in the frequency. You feel how satisfied and fulfilled you are, how alive you feel, how free you are inside, how free you are to live and express yourself no matter what, with safe boundaries, of course. You can have all the riches in the world and still feel empty, and you can be living on bare minimum and be the happiest. You can have both riches and happiness when you truly, truly have felt alignment with who you are, why you're here, what you do, and how you express yourself, and learn to let go of resistance. There is no shortcut to this understanding, just surrender, actually. The louder the ego screams, the more you know its frustration, and the more you have to listen inwards. When you truly feel the voice of your soul and act on it, there is a sense of deep peace or even bliss, even if fear might show up in the transition, and things just fall into place. So it happens from a state of surrender. When your life is driven by the ego, if I have this car, if I have this house, the money and possessions to make impression on others, to make me happy, then there is contraction, emptiness, doing things to cover up the emptiness with superficial pleasure and distractions. When you're truly relaxed and grateful and enjoy life and feel deep down you're doing the right thing, things fall into place and you can have it all, but with a sense of detachment. You can learn this only by experience and keep coming back again and again, asking yourself what your core values are, and you will know when you're not living by them. You get tense, ill, frustrated, and you will know when you live according to your core values. It's not always easy. I'm not going to lie about it, or our friends on the hill. There might be resistance, but that's only a reflection of your inner resistance, of course. Once you truly let go of that, you've got everything. About timing. Timing is a reflection of how ready you are on the inside. Things fall into place when you are in place, in coherence. Dare to listen deeper and forgive yourself when you can't. It's all a learning, and you will know when you are aligned with your calling. So keep going. We love and honor you. Whatever you do, your friends in eternity. They ended up with a strange thing. Maybe it's going to make sense in the future. They said, and dragons are real. We're going to come back on that. Cliffhanger. So, how did that land for you? We'd love to hear your thoughts. To what it means for you to trust the whisper of your heart and take the risk to fail in order to learn. How to feel your different frequencies, how satisfied you are, how free you feel inside. And I guess you all know what it feels like when the ego is screaming. And I think you know about frustration and the difference when you listen inside. Oh, let's see here. We got some comments. Lamita, chaos when the soul and ego not collaborate. The timing is usually for the highest best good. Yeah, dragons. Literal dragons. Well, I will. It's actually not my main topic, even if I have a connection. It's more of Yvonne's topic, actually, but I have some knowledge. It's about a frequency. It's about a remembrance. That's all I can say right now. Sophie, you're writing. Interesting for me about the dragon. I facilitated a workshop yesterday about exploring our anger. And one woman got a strong message seeing herself becoming a dragon, becoming friends with her power. Right. Maybe we're going to have you as a guest speaker, Sophie. Helena, I'm sure I've met some figurative ones. Yeah. Yeah. Haven't we all in different ways? I'm really starting to look forward to that topic. So wonderful, and thank you for your comments. How about, there's a lot to unpack here. Yes, Helena, it is. Thank you also. This is getting more and more exciting this is the 21st episode since beginning of October, so it feels kind of a celebration in a way. So how about we have a stillness, remembrance, healing meditation. So let's go deeper on this one. Perhaps I won't speak as much today. It came to me that you're just gonna feel into yourself, and I will assist with remembrance healing, which means knowing that you are fine, you're good, you're already whole. It's about remembering it. So if you haven't already, find a comfortable position. It's okay to lie down. You can have your eyes open or closed. Whatever your nervous system feel good about. Sometimes I open my eyes just a little, just to check my surroundings. And feel your feet, feel your body. Feel your breathing. And you're invited to the remembrance field between Arcturus and Lemuria, the divine imprint of the energy between heaven and earth, God and Gaia, where you're held in a space where you can just relax, feeling safe, being you. And breathe and let go of anything that's just distractions. Feel into your belly, your solar plexus, your heart. Ground yourself with the earth. And open gently, ever so gently, to the wisdom of the universe having your back, watching your soul's interest, your deepest calling, and the rest of you, of course. And let your breathing relax, just flowing naturally, knowing that you're held in between heaven and earth. You're held in this space, that you are loved and believed in. And I invite you to feel into your life force, your lower belly just below your navel. Just feel into it. Feel how it relaxes. That's where life started. And just know that your physical life started for a reason, because your soul answered a calling. And if you get a signal, a word, or a sound, or a gesture, a physical expression coming out, feel free. Feel free to listen to your subtle signals in your body. Does it want to move ever so gently? Is there a smile or a tear coming? Your microphone is off, so you can burst out in laughter or screaming. It's about being authentically you, You're allowed to be authentically you. Is your soul, body, and heart coherent? And if not, it's okay. Maybe there is a focus point inside of you, that a stillness. Some kind of mercy or grace, giving you some words of wisdom from inside. That you just know that you know. Just know that you're wanted in this dimension, in this timeline, in this lifetime. And you're held in this space to explore whatever is called a deeper knowing about your divine existence. Just know that you have all qualities and you can choose them, which one you want to express. You're worthy, wise, wholesome, wealthy, witty, wonderful, welcome, and your gifts are wanted, and you are wanted in this world. Feel your breathing, feel your feet, feel your body, the wonderful temple for your soul. And this space is infused by the love from earth, wisdom from the source, the eternal flame, and filled up with the crystallite energies into every part of your being if you want to. For more clarity, calmness, certainty, ease, and joy, and honesty, and humility towards yourself, and gratefulness that you're showing up for yourself every single day. So thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. Many blessings, and welcome back or stay in this state if you like. And you come back and listen to the rest later if you want. Thank you. So, lovely. Thank you, Helena. Yeah, I was immersed in this myself, and I'm sort of still in this space. So, how was this for you? You're welcome to share if you experienced something, if you got a revelation of some kind. And if you like this, you can find more remembrance healing meditations on my website and for free on the YouTube channel. Thank you. Wonderful. Good choice. Yvonne picked the music for today, as always. Sophie, I was so deeply touched. Beautiful, tears coming, just what I needed to hear. Wonderful. Yeah, it's very transforming with actually any expression. It's a relief. So nothing to hold back, really. We were taught in school to hold back, or I was. I was taught at home to hold back, not because anyone did anything wrong, but it was just the common way to live. And I'm sure many of you have the same experience. So, speaking of soul's calling, if what we explore today resonates with you, I want to invite you to something that starts tomorrow. The Wisdom of Your Soul, a 21-day journey to listen, trust, and live. And this is for you if you're ready to stop leading yourself from your overthinking mind. You want to reconnect with your soul's wisdom, learn to trust your inner guidance, and experience what it feels like to be soul led in your everyday life. It's 21 days with daily transmissions from the Swedish Hill, ourselves, and perhaps from other powerful beings from Arcturus and Lemuria. It's going to be practical practices, not huge. It's manageable, even if you have a busy schedule. There's going to be remembrance healings, of course. It's a small, intimate community of people on the same journey, and it's only 39 euros. I think it's a bargain. And we already have a beautiful group forming. There's still space for you if you want to join. It's best to do so today. It's going to be easier for you. So if you've been feeling the call to come more home to yourself, to lead from your soul instead of your thinking mind, the ego, which is a friend, we have learned that today it's not an enemy, it's a friend. Anyway, the link is in the chat, comments, or description. We're starting tomorrow, March 9. So, circling back to the question I asked in the beginning, when was the last time you heard your soul's whisper and chose to ignore it? And that is quite an interesting one because that tells a little about the friction, and there's absolutely nothing wrong about it. We all need to try it to know the difference. Maybe it was today, maybe it was years ago, maybe it's happening right now. And here's what I've learned. that the ego, the thinking mind, always have reasons, often logical reasons, and it doesn't mean you should ignore them, but take them lightly into consideration because the ego will always scream louder anyway. So there could be a lot of truth in it, and you have to take it into your soul, to your heart, and take it deeper if you want to know the truth of what's going on. And when you trust that knowing, even if it doesn't make sense, even if you're more than nervous, things can change in ways you didn't expect. So my question is, what's your soul whispering to you right now? And what would it take for you to trust it? You're welcome to share if anything resonates or landed for you, or just write it down in your own journal for yourself. Lamita, is it possible to share the practice on email? Oh, yeah. Well, it's not a lot of extra work. We will take that into consideration. Your Telegram doesn't work. We'll look into it. If we can't resolve it for you, or you can't have it resolved, uh, being in the group is the best way to experience that journey because we're sharing a lot more than we can do in an email. Uh, so I will contact you if that was the answer. Great. Thank you. Peaceful meditation. Beautiful. I got deeper contact to softer relaxation and body. Grateful. I will continue writing my novel. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Lamita. Wonderful. I love creative expressions. And we are about to close this. I'm Elof. I'm a soul guide for heart-centered leadership, which is, in simple words, I help you to clear the noise from things that happened in the past, generational trauma. I help you to clear old patterns that aren't yours and guide you back to your soul so that you can lead yourself from there. And my core tools are soul retrieval online, energy balancing for your whole system and clearing limiting beliefs, your subconscious mind in real time. And if you like to explore this, you can book a clarity call to see if we resonate and what I can do for you. And these transmissions were brought to you by me, our friends on the Swedish Hill, and many other unseen and powerful beings. And last but not least, my darling co-host Yvonne, holding ground for us all. This space is free, and it always will be. If today's transmission and healings resonate with you, you're welcome to support the channel with a donation. There's going to be a link in chat or comment or description that can help other people to experience this. Anyway, thank you so much for today. It was an honor to be a host and co-host for this space. And remember, you are absolutely a bright, shining star and a miracle. And you are a light of eternal potential. So just let your divine light shine. So take care. We thank you so much. And our unseen friends, thank you so much. Take care. Hope to see you next week or sooner. Many blessings. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.